He's a one-man army. He's the guy who can destroy you, who can really manipulate the game the right way. There is no good matchup for him. He's a really unique player, and personal, he's a really good guy, like really a guy who you can hang out with.
And I was kind of expecting the same thing with Luka. But with Luka, it's completely different. He's just kind of going at his own pace. You don't feel like he's about to do anything.
Amazing. Arguably the MVP of the league right now. The team is winning.
Ever since Luka Doncic joined the NBA in 2018, he's been a scoring machine, and a lot of opponents have tried to stop him. If your favorite NBA players' team played against the Dallas Mavericks, there's a good chance they had to deal with Luka. Some players went all out in competition against him, talking some friendly trash along the way. Others recognized his greatness and gave credit where it was due. How did your favorite player do against Luka? What do they really think about this young basketball star? Let's find out as we explore the unfiltered opinions of NBA stars. Nikola Jokic is one of the most thrilling players to watch at the moment. Much like Luka Doncic, it appears that the game unfolds at a more relaxed pace when he's on the court. Nikola is famous for his incredible passing and scoring skills. He's also not the most athletic player out there, and these are aspects he shares with Luka. Off the court, we are doing a pretty good job, but we are going to see on the court. I don't know how we're going to do it because he is not athletic, I am not athletic, so I don't know how we are going to match. Nikola jokingly said about teaming up with Luka for the 2022 All-Star Game. Luka hasn't kept much of a secret about wanting to team up with the Joker, and says that he does as well, one of the league's best talents coming from the Balkan Peninsula. After Luka hit a game-winning three against the Grizzlies in April 2021, one of the league's most talked about stars and player of the Memphis Grizzlies gave his credit to Luka. It was a great game for us. We were in a position to win. But, Luka made a difficult shot. We were trying to force him into the toughest shot possible. And he made it, won his team the game. That's what great players do. Luka also hit another really tough shot over Morant in the fourth quarter, to which Morant immediately gave props during the game. I told him good shot, man, and that was probably the best defense I have played all year. As all greats do, Morant sees Luka as motivation for him to keep pushing and get better each day. We can definitely say that the league's in good hands. One of the NBA's most endearing players is undoubtedly Boban Marjanovic, often referred to as the Gentle Giant. Boban and Luka were teammates on the Mavericks for 3 seasons, and he's among Luka's all-time favorite teammates. Following a game between the Mavericks and the Rockets in November 2022, a reporter inquired whether Marjanovic believed Luka had improved compared to the previous season. Luka's always great, always the best. He is doing things that nobody else can do. What he is doing, I don't know another person that can do that. I don't say this because he is my friend. He is a really good friend to me, but it's true. I support him with all my heart. That's my guy right there. Bobby is truly a special guy. Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat is a young and up-and-coming talent in the NBA. Coming from Serbia, his style of play is influenced by the same basketball traditions of the former Yugoslavia, just like Luka's game. During his interview on draft day, Nikola acknowledged Luka as one of the players he looked up to and tried to emulate in his own playing style. I watch a little bit of everyone, whether it is Luka in the pick and roll, the Joker in the low post, or Jimmy Butler's defense, something from everyone. We'll be watching how this young big man's game develops in the future, but he sure is on a good path so far. One of the most famous moments in the NBA is when Luka Doncic laughed at Devin's face while completely outplaying him in Game 7 of the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. During Game 5 of that series, Devin had a lot to say to Luka. When asked about how the Suns plan to defend Luka, both Luka and Chris Paul brushed it off as if they were talking about an average player. It was clear that Devin didn't have much respect for Luka and his skills. However, Luka wasn't bothered by it, and he simply mentioned that it's easier to act tough when you're winning. In the final 2 games of the series, Luka put on one of the most impressive playoff performances in recent history, defeating the Suns, who had won 64 games in the regular season, in a very convincing way and sending them home from the playoffs. After Game 7, Devin apologized to Luka for the trash talking and wished him good luck for the rest of the playoffs. One thing's certain, it's better to show respect to Luka than to talk trash to him. Bogdan Bogdanovic, another basketball star from the former Yugoslavian region, followed a path to the NBA that was quite similar to Luka's. He had an impressive run in the EuroLeague for 7 seasons. During that time, he was selected as the 27th overall pick in the 2014 NBA draft by the Sacramento Kings, eventually joining them in 2017. Luka and Bogdanović also had a rivalry of their own when they represented their respective national teams in FIBA competitions. When asked about Luka, Bogdanović shared some brief thoughts with the reporters. "I like the way he played. As you can see, European basketball is on a different level right now. I think the European players are adjusting quickly and faster than players before. Now you're able to see those things, see the rules, and see everything. If you're smart, you just catch up quickly, and he is definitely smart." Someone who will always be associated with Luka is DeAndre Ayton. Ayton was selected as the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft. Despite the ongoing comparison between Young and Luka Doncic, Ayton has often been underestimated and somewhat overlooked simply because he was drafted before Luka. However, DeAndre has consistently developed into one of the league's finest centers and harbors no jealousy or resentment towards Luka, in contrast to some of his teammates. In his rookie season, when Luka was the frontrunner for the Rookie of the Year award, DeAndre openly acknowledged Luka's skills and achievements. "I watch his games all the time, he's a beast. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, what the heck? There's no way that he is a rookie." This is what I say sometimes when I watch him play. He's been there before. He's been in situations like these. Off the court, the two youngsters share the same agency, Bill Duffy's BDA Sport, and it is through that agency that the two developed a friendship between each other. A great thing to see in today's day and age. Another European big man, who was also a teammate of Luka, is Kristaps Porzingis. Their time together wasn't as successful as some had hoped, and there were rumors about the two young stars having a challenging relationship. However, both Luka and Kristaps have denied these claims and emphasized that there is nothing but respect between them. Kristaps also had some kind words to share about Luka. He's just a natural-born talent. He was born for this. To see the things that he's capable of doing on a basketball court is just insane, and it's not something he thinks about. He just plays instinctively, and it comes natural to him. So it's really cool to play with a high-level basketball player like him. If both players stay healthy, they should be playing in the league for a long time. And as fans, let's just hope they give us more memories as rivals than they did as teammates. Lillard is one of the realest players there is. He can both talk highly or talk trash to you depending on what you ask for. He is one of Luka's fans and has given him credit for his greatness and capability on a couple of occasions. In a loss against the Mavs in November 2022, Lillard said, "He is a tough cover. He's crafty, getting a lot of foul calls. He's going to the post, and you have got a lot of action to keep him moving, and the guys around him spreading out. He is always playing for matchups, and he's definitely a tough cover." Following his game-winning three-pointer against the Grizzlies in April 2021, Luka's brilliance was recognized by none other than LeBron James. In awe of Luka's greatness, LeBron remarked, "The shot Luka made was nothing short of remarkable. That's the mark of a player who thrives under pressure, turning a challenging situation into an opportunity to shine." As we witness these interactions, it's unmistakably clear that Luka Doncic's impact stretches beyond the scoresheet. His performance serves as a catalyst for the continuous evolution of the game, with legends like LeBron James not only acknowledging his greatness but also finding inspiration in it. The future of the league is undeniably bright, upheld by these pillars of excellence. Celtics star Jason Tatum is not someone you'd want to underestimate. After a fantastic 2021 and 2022 season, where he led the Celtics to the finals, Tatum is on a mission this year as well. The Celtics and the Mavs faced off on November 24, 2022. Even though Jason was uncertain about playing before the game, he did play and left a strong impression. Tatum scored 37 points, but what truly made a statement was his late-game block on Dončić. After the block, the two shared a few friendly words, engaging in some lighthearted trash talk. But after the game, Tatum said, "We joked about it, yeah, I told him I had to block him because I didn't want him to dunk on me," to which he said if I really thought he was going to dunk. I think as a competitor in matchups like these against, one of the best players in the league, you don't get to play often. Tatum wasn't going to miss this game, he made that sure. He later also added, "He is obviously one of the best players in the league, a special talent, somebody I respect. I really like competing against a guy like that." Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the trickiest players to defend due to his unique playing style. His approach to the game seems to be a perfect fit for the modern NBA, and he carries it with a lot of confidence. Following a New Year's game, where Luka scored 35 points but couldn't prevent the Thunder from winning, with Dennis Schroeder and Alexander letting OKC to victory. Despite having a challenging shooting night, making 6 out of 15 field goals, Alexander made a big impact on the boards, grabbing 10 rebounds, which is quite impressive for a young guard. After the game, Alexander was asked about the challenges of guarding Luka without fouling. He's crafty, and when you are crafty, it is easier to draw fouls on the defense. That's a skill set that only a couple of guys have in the league, and that's one of his. Bam Adebayo is a modern big man who contributes in various ways to influence the game. He possesses skills like dribbling, passing, mid-range shooting, and defensive prowess. While he has had some success against Luka in the past, it's usually Luka who comes out on top. Following a thrilling overtime victory against the Mavs, where Bam achieved a triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, Luka unfortunately suffered an early injury just 2 minutes into the game. Bam shared some thoughts about Luka and wished him a swift recovery. He's special. He's one of those guys who don't let you speed them up. He is playing in his own pace. He is really unique. He is not really fast. He just does a lot of special things, and he is a big part of Dallas's recent success. After facing Luka and the Mavs in January 2020, then Finnish big man Markkanen didn't hold back his appreciation of Luka in his post-game interview. He's unbelievable. Obviously, he is having a great year. Playing at a very high level, having a lot of confidence, he seems to be enjoying the game so much. He is doing a really great job. Despite his career not being what most of us expected, Lonzo Ball is still one of the league's best defenders when healthy. He was a key piece in Chicago Bulls' 2021-22 regular season success, but unfortunately, couldn't help much in the playoffs, due to being ruled out with a knee injury. One of Lonzo's favorite challenges has been guarding Luka. I am just trying to get into him as much as I can. Luka is a great player, and obviously, if people like that don't have a hand in their face all the time, they are going to kill you all night long, so for me, I am just trying to make his job as hard as I can. Although he can easily be forgotten, due to playing for the Kings, De'Aaron Fox has become one of the best young point guards in the league, which is no small feat. Fox is considered one of the fastest players in the league, a polar opposite of Luka's image. The two of them becoming teammates almost happened, but the Kings decided to make another weird draft selection, picking Marvin Bagley, who has had a really slow start so far in his career. I think Luka has been great. He really came out strong. He is playing really well. They have come together extremely well, and they are definitely going to be a team to fight for a good playoff spot. That's really tough when you have a young guy as a leader. That is what we are trying to accomplish as well. Bridges was a member of the Phoenix Suns team that faced the Mavs in the 2022 Western Conference semifinals, which they lost. Bridges has consistently honed his skills and gained recognition for his defensive prowess. Defending Luka during the regular season is a tough task in itself, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's an entirely different ballgame. During an appearance on JJ Redick's podcast, Bridges detailed what made it so difficult for the Suns to defend Luka. He didn't do anything to surprise us, but sometimes him being so close to the rim and having guys to space the floor around him being so strong and big, it makes it able for him to beat you to the rim. While playing so slow, it gets you just to leave your feet, and it's over. Sometimes you just see him close to the rim and expect him to take a shot, and the dude just skips the pass across the court, and you are just like turning around, and you have a wide open three, and almost all of his passes have been high percentage and on target. I know he has the ball a lot, but he still managed to help his teammates to get into a rhythm, even when he had a layup or a somewhat open shot in the paint. He has been amazing. This is a great analysis from Bridges where he points out some of the less talked about skills of Luka. One of the brightest spots for Raptors' future has been drafting and developing Scottie Barnes. For someone who has been a closely followed prospect since his high school days, Scottie has managed to remain humble and willing to put his body on the line to make winning plays. A rare sight for players that young. After facing Luka for the first time, Barnes was in shock. "He's a pretty good player," he said while laughing. "He can just do so many things with the ball, and when the ball is in his hands, he makes things happen. He can torch you, whether he's coming off a ball screen, hitting the weak side guy, scoring, getting to the basket, being able just to create a lot of attention where he can do so many things. I said it a long time ago, I look forward to playing against anybody, but he is definitely one of the top guys you want to see in person, because he is really just that good. I didn't actually know he was that tall. I was surprised. I was like, damn, he's big as hell. And he can still do it all. It is a challenge that I'm really willing to take." At the end of the day, I think Wolves guard Anthony Edwards put it best. "That boy crazy." That's all he needed to say to deliver the message. Luka has definitely earned his top spot, but with a league this full of young talent, he is definitely going to have to continue proving himself to keep it. It is going to be really fun to watch though, that is for sure.